Hey everybody, and welcome to Stock Abilities. Today I'm going to be covering Microbot Medical and its future, potential now, and what's going on with the stock price. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos just like this. Now, we're going to get started here. Just a brief overview. Uh, Essentially, it's a microrobotic medical technologies, and as you can read here, a revolutionary autonomous crawling microrobot controlled by electromagnetic fields. That's kind of an innovative thing, a unique thing in the market that's going to be exciting a lot of people. There's a few problems with that, and I'll be getting to that in the video here, but we're going to go a little bit further details. If you guys aren't familiar, they also did a merger with Stem Cell, and Seeking Alpha goes in a little bit of details about that. Essentially, Stem Cells wasn't looking too hot, and they decided to acquire them, combine them together, and work together to create something a little bit better, a little bit more exciting. And go a little bit further here, a little bit more company profile. It says, our vision is to improve the quality of life of millions of patients globally by advancing micro-robotic technologies to perform surgical procedures within the human body. Now, this is going to save a lot of money, and it's also going to require a little bit more efficiency, but at the same time, there's a lot of money in selling those little robots to the medical facilities. So keep that in mind. You get contracts, you get a whole bunch of other stuff that'll pile in and bring value to this company. One of the problems I'll get into a little bit further here about that. But as you can see, this was the stock price. A little bit before all the excitement, it kind of dipped down. It's almost like they knew this news was already coming, and it dipped down to 251, and then it dipped down a little bit further, but then it started rising up and rising up and rising up in anticipation, and then a big pop with 68% and a little bit down in the after hours, but the volume is kind of rather low. And the reason it popped so much is because it had both news and a short sale restriction. A short sale restriction, if you're not familiar, go into a little bit of details here, but the short answer is when it's 10% down, it pops up on this thing called the short sale circuit breaker. And you can see here, and the stocks on them are heavily restricted, as you can see. The alternative uptick rule approved today imposes restrictions on short selling only when a stock is triggered a circuit breaker by experiencing a price decline of at least 10% in one day. Now there's some other things to look out for. One of the main things here is at that point, short selling would be permitted if the price of the security is above the current national best bid. So it makes it very hard for them to push the stock down, especially when you got news on the same day. So you got a short sale restriction and you got news. It's a patent. It's not that exciting. It's good for the company in the long term, but it's essentially kind of a fluff news. Now, unfortunately, this stock is not in short sale restriction tomorrow, so you're probably going to see a little bit of a decline, very possibly a major decline. And often when they pump these stocks up like this, sometimes they leak out an offering or something else to raise fundraising. They did an offering recently, I believe I read about this particular company. So that's something to keep in mind. They might also consider doing a reverse split. These are two things to keep in the back of your mind when a stock pumps up like this. It gets a little bit risky. Not saying it'll happen to this particular stock. If you want more information about the company, of course, you can go to their investors page. You got a number, you got an email. Pretty easy to contact them. A little bit of a downside is, at least according to Seeking Alpha, the management isn't the best management, and then there's delays on all their patents and everything. And as they say here, it's 5 employees and experimental products that can't be validated for several years. Some of the products could take that long, other ones not so much. Um, they kind of hinted at the product in particular down here, but at the same time, the point being is that it's an experimental company. It's kind of risky. Um, the general overall consensus is that management can be iffy at times, but the company itself is pretty solid, and there could be a lot of growth in the near future. The sentiment on this particular stock twits page is not a whole lot. A lot of it's just people kind of pushing their own stuff and then theorizing, but there really isn't a lot of actual people talking here, just lists. Other stuff here, not a lot of sentiment going on. Nothing really all that exciting. A lot of people are saying pump and dump. They're possibly right. We'll see what it looks like into tomorrow. You got Clay Trader here, so you might be seeing a little bit of a dip just from him shorting, just to keep that in mind. And then you got, of course, a lot of other filings going on. You guys can look through these if you want. There's promise for the future for this company, but it is risky at this stock price currently. I would see how it looks in the pre-market and the open. That about summarizes the entirety of Microbot that I wanted to cover in this video. There's other things I'll be highlighting and breaking down if people are interested to go into more details about the company itself, but I just wanted to give a little overview and my theory of why it popped today. Make sure to have a nice day, and thanks for listening in.